Another example is one of my neighbors, her husband was going through cancer and he was in palliative care, so he was dying. And I know what that feels like. And then unfortunately, these Muslim kids, their parents were overseas on holiday and they're going up and down with a bike. He's trying to sleep. She's his carer. She just snapped it, like she got mad. And I saw and I went, oh God, okay, let me go have a talk to these. Like I came out, I comforted her. I go, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? She's like, they've just been riding this motorbike up and down the street at like ridiculous hours. My husband's trying to sleep. You could see she was stressed. And I went, right, okay. I go, don't worry, I'm going to go speak to them. And I went over and I go, okay, guys, what's going on? Why are you riding this bike up and down crazy hours? And then I found out, that's how I found out their parents aren't home. I'm like, no wonder. But your neighbor right now, her husband is dying. These are Muslim kids. I said to them, he's dying. What you're doing, you're representing Islam as well. And you're being, quite frankly, annoying. Like my brother wanted to call the police on you. And I said, no, the kids, it's okay. Let me go have a talk to them. Let me like sort this out. So I'm coming to you and your parents aren't here. You're going to be in extra trouble. So, you know, just tone it down, maybe go over to her and apologize because she's a carer. She's stressed out. And her husband is dying. It's not an easy thing to go through. So just show a little bit of compassion and empathy and consideration with your actions because you represent us as well. I think that's what we have to realize as Muslims. Like we're always under a microscope. I'm not saying just, you know, not to be, okay, well, why do we have to always be like this? But because the religion requires us to, you're not, it's not the other way, like they're enforcing themselves on you, you know, because our deen tells us to be considerate of others, to be conscious of our neighbors. Our neighbors have rights on us. And unfortunately, not all of us think like this. We're not all thinking of our neighbors. And it's something, it's a sunnah that we have to revive and get back into our lives because it is important.
Absolutely. And Ramadan is the perfect time to do it. It's been
Ramadan, Eid.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can't do Ramadan, do Eid. Everyone loves to celebrate. Who doesn't want sweets and presents? Well, I do. I get Christmas presents. Why not? Why not give Eid? How are you supposed to have your kids, you know, to me, I role model as best as I can with any children that are around me, because how else are they going to learn? If they're always just seeing presents for holidays for other religions and faiths, how am I representing us? How am I making them feel the joy and the celebration that this is important for us and this is what we do? If you don't do it yourself. So if I'm not talking to my neighbor and I'm not training my neighbor well, what do you think the kids are going to learn?
Yeah.
If I'm not, yeah,
that's
right. And that's right. And if I'm not going over and I'm not showing them how to perform sadaqah, and that's an opportunity with my child as well to start talking about etiquettes in religion and things that we do, like the acts of worship that we perform, not just pray, fast, you know, like kids, you need to explain it to them in a different way. And most times that's going to be through your actions, not just by telling them. You have to show them. So I will, with my nieces and nephews, they'll see that I'm talking to the neighbor. Oh, you know, come over, like this is our neighbor. And they'll say hello to them and they'll introduce to the kids. And just like the other neighbor, where she got her children to come over to me and give us a plate of sweets. Do you see like how the ripple effect of that?
And you don't know how many people that's going to impact.
That's the beauty of it. That's
now thinks positively of Islam from one single person that has gone out of their way, which most people won't do. She has a positive representation, alhamdulillah, and you just don't know who that knock-on effect, that ripple effect, did you say, is going to impact positively. Inshallah.
And that's the approach I have. That's the mindset I take every time. And sometimes I'll just feel like we've moved again. I'm like, oh my God, you know, we already know 1, 2, 3, about 4 neighbors, and we've only been here for like 5 months. Yeah, we've only been here for 5 months. And this neighbor over here has already brought us food, some Turkish food. I'm like, amazing. They felt bad because they were having a barbecue and the smell of it, and they just thought they'll bring us some leftover barbecue. I'm like, I'm down. You can just give me any food you want. I'm okay with that. And then another neighbor across the road will update us about what was happening at this property beforehand. I found out a lot more from him than I did from the real estate agent.
Yeah, mashallah. No, and the food is always a good way to connect with people.
Yes, they say that if you want to change people's minds, I can't remember the book, the best way to do it is either to give them a book or sit over a meal to discuss things, to just have conversations. They're the two best ways. There's research and science behind it.
About anything in particular? And with anybody in
any topic. Yeah, the best way to change people's minds is you send them a book or you have a meal together. You break bread together.
No. Love that.
Yep. And I went, I'm onto something here, guys. This is amazing.